A flooded cave in Thailand, 5 idiots, 1 bull shark. The Devil's Mouth is on Prime Video, and the shark is the only one of them I liked. Welcome to Scary World, where I walk you through the best, the worst, and the downright disturbing. I'm Arturo Padilla.
Hi.
Let's get into it. 5 college friends swim into a flooded cave in Thailand for one last adventure. What the storm washed in is still in there.
There's so much blood. Everything's fine.
Okay, we need to leave now. Shark.
I'm sorry. How is there a shark in a freshwater cave system?
The first category is production. Does this movie look good? Is it well executed?
Told you I'd make a movie someday. Huh?
The Devil's Mouth was directed by Jeff Wadlow, who's brought us such horror gems like Imaginary, Fantasy Island, and Truth or Dare. Of course, I'm kidding, folks, so you know where this is going, right? He doesn't bring any bells or whistles to the table, but he at least makes things look competently executed. Nothing embarrassing like that awful Chum movie from AMC+, but nothing that stands out either. Where I do have to give him credit, and where things actually work, are the scenes where the cast is wedged into those narrow, tight passages. Wadlow does a good job of framing the shots so you feel the claustrophobia along with our characters. I'm not saying it's Neil Marshall's The Descent, but the sequences are effective. The cave setting lends itself to some precarious situations, and the camera takes full advantage of all of it. So kudos to the production team there. That said, one of my biggest gripes was the number of ominous shots that went absolutely nowhere. The movie had a bad habit of holding on to a shot for way too long, whether it was some dark water, a gap in the rocks, a shape all the way in the back of the frame, dragging it out like it's building to a payoff, and then it just goes nowhere. It's dread with nothing on the other end of it. Do that once, that's atmosphere. Do it 5 or 6 times, I stop leaning into it. You're getting my attention, but you're not paying it back. By the time something actually happens, I'm trained not to care. The rest of the movie looks okay. The editing is okay, the lighting is okay, the shots are okay. It's just all okay. For production, Devil's Mouth gets a 1 out of 2. Like I said, nothing special here. The shots inside the cave do look good, especially when they're in the smaller, tighter passages of the cave. They get really in there with the characters, and it makes you feel a little bit claustrophobic, but that's really all this production can tout. Other than that, it looks fine. The next category is story. Does it keep you engaged? Does this all make sense?
The second act needs work.
The script was written by Aja Gabel and Myung Jo Wesner, and this is the pair's first feature film. Unfortunately, it shows we've got issues here. Let's start with the characters because they're a huge problem. Almost everybody in this movie is annoying. Not mildly irritating, just actively annoying. I do think that's on purpose, at least partly. There's a toxic friendship baked right into the setup, where our lead spends the whole first act getting steamrolled by her best friend who runs her life for her. So the abrasiveness is a choice to serve the story. The lead is the only exception. She's the one person in the group you're actually rooting for, but I'll get to her in the next section. Next, you've got the dumb choices. This movie runs on them. They have a guide telling them exactly which parts of the cave are unstable and dangerous. They have warning signs. They have basic common sense available to them at all times, and they blow past every bit of it. Almost all the forward progress in the first hour happens because somebody ignores a person who knows better. I can live with a couple of bad decisions. That's part of the genre. That's how you get people into these situations. I get it. But when that's the only way the story moves forward, it stops feeling like people making choices and starts feeling like a script needing bodies in a cave. With some of that negative stuff out of the way, I do have to admit, the minute the shark shows up, this whole movie gets way more interesting. It stops being a hangout picture with bad vibes and terrible characters and turns into an actual survival horror film with terrible characters. The tension goes up, and the friend dynamics that annoyed me for the first 40 plus minutes of this movie start paying off once there's real pressure on them. I was locked in for a good stretch there. But this thing is too long for its own good. The runtime of this movie is 105 minutes, and you feel every one of them. Somewhere out there's a meaner, leaner version of this that runs 90 minutes and gets in the water 20 minutes sooner. The premise is shark in a cave. It's a great premise, but one that doesn't need 105 minutes to get you there. For story, Devil's Mouth gets another 1 out of 2. The story was fine. The premise was good. You got a killer shark in a cave, killing a whole bunch of kids. That's about it. There's nothing really special about the story, unfortunately, and it kind of leaves you slightly satisfied, I guess. The next category is ensemble. Are the performances good? Does the cast have any chemistry?
She's an actress. She's acting.
Kathryn Newton is the only standout here. There's no doubt about it. She's a horror pro and has been putting in work in the genre for years now. Freaky, Abigail, Lisa Frankenstein, Ready or Not 2. She's awesome. She's a true horror queen. Her arc is the only real one in this movie. She starts off as somebody who can't say no to anybody, dependent on her friends' bad decisions, and ends up developing nicely throughout the movie. She shines through all the muck and carries this entire movie on her back. Lana Condor plays a controlling best friend Max, and she plays a toxic Angle straight. She's quite good at it, actually, a little too good. You don't like her off the bat. The rest of the cast is fine and knows what their mission is. Play the idiot friends who are shark bait. For ensemble, The Devil's Mouth gets another 1 out of 2. Like I said, this is the Kathryn Newton show. Everyone else is just on board for the ride. The next category is horror. Is it scary? Does it deliver the goods?
I thought it was kind of scary.
There is some blood and gore here. It's a mix of practical and CG. And again, it's all just fine. For what it's worth, the CG shark does look good. There's real weight to it. It moves like it's actually displacing water instead of just floating through it. And it doesn't have that video game-like quality you get in a lot of these streaming killer shark movies. The shark attacks looked pretty gnarly too. Way better than I expected. Unfortunately, the PG-13 rating really hinders this thing. Every single time it's about to get brutal, it just cuts away. In a movie about a shark eating people in an enclosed space, that's leaving so much on the table. It's quite frustrating and very disappointing. I'm not asking for Piranha 3D. Just give me something. The rating couldn't call for it, and the movie is worse off for it. For horror, this movie gets another 1 out of 2. The shark actually looks good. The attacks look good. The CG there does look good. I just wish we could have gotten a lot more gore, a lot more blood. I think an R rating would have definitely propelled this thing to a better movie, but I'm not sure if the director would have been able to pull it off properly. The last category is legacy. Does this movie leave a mark on the genre? Will people be talking about it 5 years from now?
All right, now make up your mind.
This is one of those lazy Sunday afternoon movies. You're on the couch chilling, it's 3 p.m, you don't want to think about anything, you just want to watch something. You scroll past it on Prime and you hit play. An hour and change later, you had a decent time and you'll never think about it again. Nothing here is great, nothing here is new. Shark movies are coming out at an absurd rate right now, and this one doesn't reinvent the wheel. The only thing it has to offer is the location. And credit where it's due, The Cave is a good idea that nobody had been sitting on, but it's definitely not building a cult following. Nobody's gonna do an annual rewatch of this thing in 5 years. It gets the job done in the entertainment department, but then it's gone. For legacy, The Devil's Mouth gets another 1 out of 2. This was just all very mid, unfortunately. Like I said, this is not gonna be remembered fondly. It's not gonna be an annual rewatch. No one's gonna be doing an anniversary show about this movie. It's just one of those movies you put on a lazy Sunday, and you just kind of either pass out watching it or you make it to the end. Now let's add it all up. For production, The Devil's Mouth got a 1. For story, it got a 1. For ensemble, it got another 1. For horror, a 1. And for legacy, another 1. Bringing the total up to a 5 out of 10. The Devil's Mouth is a competent shark movie with a great location, a good-looking shark, Kathryn Newton, and a group of friends you cannot wait to see get eaten. Put it on, have a good time, and forget it by the end credits. I'm Arturo Padilla, and remember folks, it's a scary world out there, but I am here to walk you through it. See you next time.
Cut, Casper. That's a wrap.